She's dead.
Yeah.
Well, we think she's dead.
No, she's definitely dead. They had a scene with all the children or students over her crying, talking about how she's dead.
No, they're like, she won't wake up on there. She could just be in a coma.
No, she's dead.
Also, everyone is very messed up from the fight. So, Bunny Girl Senpai, she's pretty messed up in stable condition. So, Aries going to have her work cut out for her.
Yeah.
Because...
Too bad you can't reverse a dead chick.
that we know of.
She's dead. You know she's dead.
We know of. It's a good thing you didn't say anything else. That's why I was like, I feel like you kind of cheated in that.
No, because even when...
You must have saw a picture on there or something.
No, because Cross ExAnime 116. I'm Justus. That's Matt. We're talking about our A-list. What's on our A-list, Matt?
Assholes. You know why? People died this week.
Well, yes.
Dude, a lot of fucking people died this week on there. First things first. So we have what? Spy Family Part 2 of Season 1. We have Boku no Hero Academia Season 6. I know that in Japanese. That's about the only Japanese I know. We have To Eternity Season 2. I wasn't even going to attempt that one. And then we have Bleach.
Yeah. Bleach 1000 Year Blood War.
Season 20, whatever.
Yeah. It's like 17
Well,
or
I think like every website has its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you go to like Hulu, there's like
sense.
Bleach and there's like 1000 Year Blood War, which is going to be its own like 4-core whatever.
It's been a decade between the two. It makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. A decade. Was it 10 years, 10 months, 10 days?
I don't know, some ridiculous
So like
amount.
a whole bunch of 10s on there. Did you cheat in My Hero, by the way, before we
No.
continue anywhere else? Okay, I feel like you cheated. I feel like you looked ahead or saw
No.
something you weren't supposed to. Did you watch the preview, though?
Huh? No. Because I had said that like 3 weeks prior, so there wouldn't have been a preview for anything like that. We'll talk about it more when it happens.
Somehow. All right, so Spy Family, Part 2, this finished up. Oh, so what ended? So My Hero Academia technically is not finished.
No.
It finished its first half of Season 6.
Mm.
Bleach is technically finished with its season.
Yeah,
but it's going to continue. Core. Yeah, it's first core. And then To Your Eternity is still going.
Yeah.
On there. And then Spy Family's done. So basically the only one that's going to continue is To Your Eternity and then Spy Family.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, To Your Eternity and My Hero.
Yeah.
It says Spy Family. So Spy Family officially has ended its second or its first real season.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's split between
two cores.
Like, I don't know.
They did officially announce Season 2 and a movie.
Yeah, who would have ever guessed that the show would have had a Season 2 and a movie on there? Oh, real quick, we should mention we're going to be doing our own anime award pretty much before anybody else on there because we're the best on there.
Yes, but the show, what's his name? The Damien. He finally got to see his dad.
Well, he has seen his dad before, but you finally get to see them interact. His dad's a real piece of shit.
We finally get to see his dad in person in the show.
He was a drug dealer. Guarantee he's been selling drugs. He's been using his own drugs.
Definitely. He he comes off as the like, I'll murder you if you look at me the wrong way, but like,
I don't know that the conversation Lloyd and his dad had. It's like, oh, I just wanted to apologize to your son for what my daughter did. It's like, oh, no worries, go away. And Lloyd's like trying to make like he's a normal person, but definitely Damien's dad knows something is up. 100% knows something is up. There's no way he doesn't know. Man, that's secretive.
I mean,
to be fair, like
most people want to kill him. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, even his own son tried to approach his dad. It's like, no, heavens no, you're not allowed to talk to your own dad. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Even his brother's basically the same way. Like, okay, I'll tell dad, but again, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not even gonna try.
Don't expect it.
Don't expect much on there. I mean, his dad did show up, but I feel like there's another reason we'll find out next season why his dad actually did show up. There's got to be a way. But now Lloyd has outed himself because he tries to hide in the shadows. He's known. But now he's made himself known to Damien's dad that can look up pretty much anything in the country, and I feel like they're going to do some more digging, and no one's really going to know too much about him. I mean, he's got a good cover. Very good cover. But, I mean, there's got to be even more. Like, he has to probably go back and, like, re-add more, which is going to add way more stress to it.
Yeah, probably. I thought that whole scene was super nice.
It was like half the episode too.
Yeah, because I mean it makes sense. It's everything that it's building up to, that initial connection.
I mean, it was like a real conversation too. I mean, I feel like Lloyd kind of pushed a little too hard, but it's like, oh, why don't you come on over? Why I come over there?
Yeah. At one point he did say, "Oh, I don't want to push any further." Like needing to seem desperate or suspicious.
I know.
So just left it as
Lloyd
is.
definitely did some mental warfare, and I'm like, oh, you should appreciate your kids no matter what. You should say blah blah blah. It's like, wow, Lloyd calling the kettle black there, buddy.
I mean, he doesn't actually have kids. So.
I mean, yeah, but he still needs to take care of Anya on there.
That telepath can take care of herself.
Also, fucking Yor beat the shit out of Lloyd. And why don't we get married for real? Shotguns like her wine on there to drop kicks him so he's got a ball chin.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oops. Don't let the crazy chick have alcohol. That's all you gotta learn.
I mean, I
from
think
there.
every time she has alcohol, she just turns into like an unstoppable force on there.
Yeah.
Because I think the first time we saw her get drunk was when they did that party for Anya, right? In the tower?
Yes.
Yeah. And then the second time is when her brother comes over.
Mm-hmm. And this is like the
this
third.
is the third time she's had. So basically we've seen her have 3 glasses of wine.
Yeah, because she was afraid that Fiona was gonna like steal the position of wife.
I mean, also Lloyd just like, you want your regular with a whole bottle? It's like, how much does this dude fucking drink on there? I have straight up scotch. I assume he's drinking good stuff too, so it's pretty strong.
I mean, he's wealthy enough.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
I feel like Spy Family started really strong with the like out there kind of like goofy kind of spyness.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're getting into the more serious kind of mellow towards the end. So I feel like next season's going to do the same. It's going to start more serious and then it'll go back to like silly again.
Yeah, they at one point had a scene where his boss was going over the list.
Name.
Yeah,
Watcher or whatever.
Sylvia was going over the list because all of the VIPs at the school are showing up for the Stellas.
I like how they did. They pointed out characters that will be important next season.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing a disguise, looking at a window like, oh, that's head of a toy factory. That's a head of like production of coal on there. I'm like, there's a reason why they're pointing out all these people.
Mm-hmm.
That's right before he meets his dad, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is. They in that initial scene, you get this random spy that's like, oh, just send me. Like, I'll go. It's like, do you want to die? Because that's how you die. Is essentially a response.
I mean, they've already done the whole cover thing. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of shows that just kind of ended, and it's like, oh, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bleach just kind of, not spoiled, but like Bleach just kind of ended. I'm like, oh, that's it. Where's more? Spy Family kind of ended where it's like, oh, we're not going to keep going. Like, I felt like there wasn't a big like hit. Well, I mean, Bleach should have a big hit, but it's like I kind of wanted to keep going a little bit more.
Of course, but they're gonna keep you hyped with what you were given, that little nugget at the end, and then you just gotta wait until July.
I'm trying to think of the other show we were watching that just did that too. Jesus Christ, I forgot its name. As soon as I say it, I'm gonna remember it on there.
Oh, that had just kind of like ended, and it's like, okay, that's it. We'll see you next season.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, here's a casual episode. Oh, that's it. Wait till next season. It's like, what the heck, man? That was just like a straight up like.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man, Classroom of the Elite, both of them.
Yeah, just kind of stopped.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, Classroom of the Elite did that too in season 1.
Yeah,
And then we had to wait 4 years to get another season to figure out like what they just kind of ended. Like, okay, we're back from this.
They did announce season 2 and 3 together.
Yeah,
so.
like 4 years later, buddy.
Only
Akaba Maid War did the same thing. That like
Ancient Mage's Bride has had 7 years, and Bleach was 10. So, yeah.
Well, Bleach pretty much kind of wrapped everything at the end. This is just kind of like we're stopping now. Just continue to the next day.
I'm fine with that. Some of them you don't.
Akaba Maid War was probably the weirdest one out of everything, where it's like, oh,
we're not
she's
getting another
dead.
season of that.
Well, yeah, we're not getting another season, but just like, oh, she's dead. Here's like a 2-minute clip at the very end. Oh, no, she's alive. She's just in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. Now it's like, oh.
Yeah.
That was like the weirdest end to his season on there. I don't know. I'm excited for the next season of
Spy Family?
Spy Family, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably going to win some awards, just saying. Some ExAnime awards.
It is. Most likely, yes.
Show of the season award.
I enjoy the show. I see the hype behind it. Some of what we've seen this year, though, has been way better. It's just a good comfort.
It was a
one
nice.
At this point.
Listen, the first core was good. Came out of nowhere. Fun show, entertaining. I feel like the second core is just building up. So then the next season will be big. It's like how My Hero, where last season it was just all building up to this one on there.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's the movie then the second season or the second season then a movie.
I'd imagine it'd be the second season then a movie. Because the way they ended things. It's not like Demon
I would say you tell that to Demon Slayer.
Well, no, but Demon Slayer built it up to be a movie. Because they're just getting on a train. And it was a very short arc within the story as well.
Yeah, it could just be a standalone movie as well.
It could be as well.
Anya goes to the beach. What? The
smallest girl goes to the beach. Not even Yor goes to the beach.
No, the Rule 34 artist would have too much of a fun time with that.
What if it came out in like April and they just called the season Yor Lie in April because she lies about her identity and it's like We have to do it this year. We have to do the Yor Lie in April thing where we just watch an episode a day. Because it's what, 24 episodes? Hey, but on another note, speaking of My Hero that I just mentioned, hey, My Hero Academia on there. I was trying to do a smooth transition, then we kept talking about other stuff on there. My Hero got so good just to be mid. To be mid at the very end of the fight.
Yeah.
The fight just kind of, same thing. It's just kind of like, it's over. There was no drastic, like, someone really won and someone really lost. No one really won. No one really lost. And then, like, the heroes, I feel like the heroes suffered the biggest loss.
Mm-hmm. Or what I was going to say, you say no one really won, no one really lost, and then the episode after where it's like, everyone lost. What do you mean?
Well, they arrested, 17,000 people? It's like 16,929 people.
Yeah.
And then it was weird because the second episode, like you guys said, it's like a 12-minute recap. It's definitely a 10-minute recap on there for what happened.
Yeah. And the recap's fine because
I didn't need that halfway through the season, though.
Technically, the reason why they did that is we were slightly off. Our recording stuff had gotten really messed up. We actually we're still technically behind because for New Year's, every single show we watched this week had a week off, which is why we still only had 2 episodes, and that's why it was confusing. And then they did the recap episode for that one. And it was like, shit.
Well, I mean, the recap is just dumb. You're halfway through a season, give me a recap of the halfway through the season. It's like, I don't need that. Yeah. I don't need a recap of the last 12 episodes. We know what's been happening on there.
I'm assuming they did that because of the last part of the episode. There's not much to really expand beyond that, but it's still super, super important.
I don't know. Agree to disagree on there. I could have done without those 10 minutes. Give me some like actual sustenance of what's going to happen in the other stuff. But you did see a few things. So Shigaraki is now controlled by All for One. Because even the face has changed too, which is kind of weird at the same time. That the face would change. Whatever. He's talking about how he needs time for his body to heal. The only thing that did help in the recap, was showing you who died and how much of the power was actually transferred. The Shigaraki, which was 75%.
Yeah.
And then we found out that All for One is planning on an attack on the compound that he's hidden in.
So he can have his original body.
Yeah. Which I also hate because it's like, I watched the preview and I was like, okay, maybe don't give away too much. They gave away so much in the previews. My Hero
never watched the previews.
Well, I just wanted to know, I thought there might be more because we've gotten a couple shows where now after the post credits there was a little bit more that there wasn't before, so it's like I'll go watch whatever. And My Hero has this big problem where they just keep giving away too much in the preview for the next episode and they need to not do that.
I never watched the previews.
Yeah.
It literally staples preview at the very top. You can just pause it from there.
Well,
if you
no,
watch anything beyond
I'm just waiting to see that they put something even after the preview on there. It's just a thing. You know, usually I don't pay attention to it too much on here. Minus this was like, come on.
But
Also, so, what's her name?
the
Night. What?
Okacho?
No.
Midnight?
Midnight, yeah. She's dead.
Yeah.
Well, we think she's dead.
No, she's definitely dead. They had a scene with all the children or students over her crying, talking about how she's dead.
No, they're like, she won't wake up on there. She could just be in a coma.
No, she's dead.
Also, everyone is very messed up from the fight. So, Bunny Girl Senpai, she's pretty messed up in stable condition. So, Aries going to have her work cut out for her.
Yeah.
Because...
Too bad you can't reverse a dead chick.
that we know of.
She's dead. You know she's dead.
We know of. It's a good thing you didn't say anything else. That's why I was like, I feel like you kind of cheated in that.
No, because even when...
You must have saw a picture on there or something.
No, because even in the episodes prior, she was knocked out of the sky with rubble. She couldn't even stand up anymore. And then they show a bunch of villains running to her, and her transmission cuts out. And then even later, they showed a splice of just like her motionless body, and it's like, of course she's dead. What do you expect?
Deku's got like 20 broken limbs on there. Evan Dowers like beat the crap on there. You know, there's a chance.
And the way it was set up,
they didn't say how many heroes have died yet. That was the one thing they didn't put in the report, is how many heroes have died. But there was an important scene where Okacho was saving as many people as she could as fast as she can, like barely making it time. A little comic relief. But then you see that one like adult hero that's like, I give up. Yeah. And that's where she has that attack of like, he's even giving up. Wants to keep the people from not giving up, was kind of the whole, because it was leading up to an episode where people are giving up. They're against the heroes. Like there's that sign in All Might that says, I'm not here. And it's like,
the actual non-recap stuff was very dark. Yeah. It was a lot.
Which it makes sense for something like that, but I feel like somehow they'll find a way to reverse the public's opinion. Because think about it, you just arrested like 17,000 people. Yes, you lost a lot of top heroes, but you can boast about how you've basically captured all the top captains and lieutenants. Because they talk about how they captured Ice Dude, Accounting Dude.
But they only they didn't capture anyone from
the League of Villains?
Yeah, except for one.
They captured Magic.
Yeah, except for one.
Yeah.
But everyone else got away.
I don't know if we know about Dobby. I thought Dobby was captured.
No.
No,
that's he's in the orb on the...
But the League of Villains is severely weakened because
one's dead, one's captured. But that's it. All of them.
But I mean, sure they haven't captured all of them, but it's like Makia is now held. So I mean, the thing is, you've destroyed most of their potential army, which gave you that like flashback of them like being poor, trying to build up the League of Villains and what they're actually going for. So again, they're on their own. So the next big fight, they're not going to have what they need. Now, a lot of the noms did get away.
There's only 7 that got away.
So it's like, but they're very powerful. And the heroes just took massive blows.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could fight unless Ares going to, I don't know, pull something amazing out from her.
I think the only ones that she's really going to be able to help is Eraser. Hopefully get a leg back. I don't know if she can.
Maybe it might have to be a thing over time. She can do it, but not right now. Well, she has been. They purposely did show she could heal a broken lizard's tail.
Yes,
and she did give
Lemillion his powers back.
So he might be able to get a leg, but she might prioritize like the stronger heroes first.
I mean, he's one of the strongest heroes. He's the only one who can specifically stop, like, let's say, All for One from using any of his powers.
There was an important thing that I don't know if it was shown.
Deku's definitely going to need it. That man's limbs, none of them work right now.
Well, they talk about if he does it a couple more times, that's it. He's done it a couple more times. So she might be able to fully reverse that. Or might be a thing where she joins the battle
Strap me on your back again. Let's
I mean,
do
it could be a
this.
thing where she might have to be the sacrifice they need to win. That'll be the greatest like hardship where the other heroes are
Sacrifice a child.
to save millions.
Please stop. Why are you holding a child with a knife around her neck? Just don't make me do it.
Yeah, but what? I think out of our core group, Todoroki could still fight.
Mm-hmm.
Red Riot could still fight.
Yeah.
Frog Girl, a lot of the students still can fight.
Yeah.
But Deku's definitely out. Bakugo's definitely out.
Yes.
And that's then for the top heroes, they're pretty much all out.
The seniors,
Or pretty badly.
yeah, Lemillion's, he got knocked out, but he's still pretty good.
He's not at 100% power though.
But yeah, the other two, the one that like eats whatever and then
He's
can
pretty
turn into
bad.
that. Yeah, they just like cut over to him and Fat Gum just like passed out like in some rubble. I was like, oh yeah, one of the major like heroes, the magic dude that had them all floating in the air. He's murdered too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, that was
damn.
one of the ones where they're like, I bet there's like nobody
They
there.
did leave Mount Lady kind of up in the air.
No, she's on the ground face down.
Well, I mean, they did do a couple shots of just her like ass, and then when actually doing the recap of who's alive and who would have died, it's like, I don't know.
The important thing
ass
with it
is a
is
mystery.
the important thing is they actually did say heroes are gone that we know 1,000% are dead. But when referring to Midnight, listen, I'm not still going on the
She's
same.
dead.
No, but the thing is, there's other heroes in her case where they said the heroes are gone, but then the other heroes, they're like, I can't remember exactly the wording. They're like, oh yeah, he's a magic dude that got him up there. He's not with us anymore. But the other heroes, like, they're
Majestic,
gone.
I think is his name.
Yeah.
His name is.
So it's like there's some heroes where it's like, are they actually dead? Are they not? But then they did pull out the thing where like Shigaraki's heart was not restarted by the electricity. It was just restarted by his bad dreams.
Yeah.
Which
that
was like,
weird.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how the second core. We did get to see the new opening, which seems way darker. So I wonder if Deku's going to do something very bad. I wonder if he's going to be forced to kill. But he did point out Shigaraki in that scene when they're in like the all for one versus the one for all.
It looked like he was.
He needed help.
yeah.
He needed saving. It's like, oh, it's going to be a thing where he tries to save him, but he's going to have to kill him.
Probably.
Or maybe, you never know, maybe Shigaraki would just hit himself with a cork canceling dart. Because they did specify that those are still prevalent. People still have them. And Shigaraki just had 2 of them with him.
Mm.
So maybe they'll be able to reverse engineer what hit, Aizawa. And maybe that'll be their trump card is Deku's going to try and save him. They're going to have to shoot him with it.
Hit all for
one.
with just like 7 of them. Just be like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Well, they never did specify if you hit someone with multiple corks, does it stop each cork or just one cork?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That'd be interesting though.
Yeah. I mean, it would take eternity to get rid of them, but speaking of eternities, to your eternity. Wow.
Hey,
You
Fushi,
don't like the transition?
Fushi turned into a tree person and shit
Yeah,
himself.
which now makes sense in the like the opening theme where he's like a tree person. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, yeah, it just kind of turns into a tree and he can have multiple bodies they switch consciousness to.
Yeah, at one point.
Like, how do you poop? Just let it happen.
Tasty Peach was like, "What's that smell?" And he's like, "That's probably me. Here, I'll make a new body." It's like this man's up in the air just shitting his pants.
So I wonder how that's gonna work in the next big fight with the
knockers.
yeah.
Well,
He'll probably have multiple bodies planted throughout the city.
He's setting roots in the entire area.
because he said it would take him like 3 days, but that's when they'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's those 3 new guys they introduced, and Tasty Peach wants him to meet them.
Yes.
And are they supposed to just sacrifice their life in 3 days so then he can take over their bodies? Or if they die, then he can have them?
I think if they die, he can have them. Because there's the Kai Reynolds roulette that He's a knight that we've seen before.
Yeah, I've seen 2 out of the 3 of them before.
Hilo is a knight from the church that we've seen who is leaving.
He believes Fushi is a new god. He's going to give himself to that.
Yeah. And then
some of their backstories are pretty...
Bastar is...
from the city.
Yeah, just some new dude.
Yeah. But some of their backstories are kind of sad. It's like, what happened to you? Well, I used to work with my father. It was a good time. Our grandmother got sick, and he beat me every day. And it's like, wow. It's like, I wish the knockers would come and free me. I found out they weren't trying to free me. Then my mother died. Then my dad got sick.
And
then
grandma died.
Grandma died. Then his dad died, and he was like, oh, whatever.
Dad apologized on his deathbed, because that's what all old fuckers do, just on the hopes that they get to heaven.
I'm telling people to go fuck themselves at the very end.
I shit myself.
What's that smell? What does a grandma do? Smell it? Snip. Shit self-dying. Oh, you'd be petty enough to do it.
Yeah. You've got a mess to clean up. What? We also do meet Echo,
from Star
pot
Wars
people. No.
With no pot people. Sure. You know, at first I was
here. Let me rephrase that. A child slave used for monetary gain.
Woo! Let's go, baby.
Okay, calm down.
Also, at first, I'm gonna be honest. I thought they were going kind of racist in it for a second. I was like, wow, this is what they think black people are like. It's like the show's done so well. Then she cleans up. I'm like, oh, she was just covered in mud.
Yeah.
This makes a lot more sense now, because I thought they was like going to be like a really shitty, like super racist town for a sec. I mean, they still own slaves, but it's like slaves of variety. Because Fushi gets mad and hears, what is it? We own them. It's like, you can't own people. It's like, Fushi, it's like the 1400s, buddy. You're going to have to grow up one day or another.
Yeah. The only thing that I was a little surprised with is when she was cleaned up, it's like, oh, where'd we get the Dr. Stone character?
Yeah, she was very much like straight out of big old eyes with like the dress and the hair.
Especially the hair, where it like does the multicolored.
Yeah,
like, at the end,
it literally is like something just had a Dr. Stone.
Yeah,
and that's when we realized, man, we never watched the special for Dr. Stone, and we should probably watch that eventually.
Yeah. Oh well. Also, Fushi's kind of messed up because he can turn in whoever he wants.
Oh, into her brother.
Well, yeah, he could just turn into her brother who died of starvation right next to her in a cage. That's kind of messed up, but also...
Well, you saved
them.
It's like,
oh, here, you need to take a bath. So to make it less creepy, I'll just also turn into a younger girl just to bathe you anyways. It's like, it's still you at this point.
He's thousands of years old. He doesn't care about that stuff. It's been stated he doesn't care about that stuff.
He's taking the time.
Yeah. Also, like, there's that argument that we watched that we've definitely seen on Rooster Teeth with, was it Chris Damaris? If you're about to die and there's a sandwich right in front of you, would you just die? Or would you muster up just enough energy to, like, take a bite of that sandwich? It's like, that kid literally died as soon as they got away. It's like, oh, he's dead.
I don't know. At that point, the sandwich probably wouldn't help.
I mean, the pears, anything, just it's a little bit.
There's
a lot of people just dying of like starvation and random shit in this series.
Yeah, but that's just real life.
Yeah, or is it a fantasy?
Why?
It was a knock of what we were listening to in the mall.
Oh.
Queen was playing, and he was like, "Oh, I wonder why this sounded so familiar," because it wasn't like the actual.
It was a
Queen.
Piano version.
Yeah, which wasn't very good on there.
Yeah,
not much else happened in To Eternity besides we're about to get into a big fight for the city.
But Tasty Peach and Fushi are fighting, and then the Kohaku's being just the creepiest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah.
You don't need him. You just need me. Blush. It's like, fuck off, man.
Yo, that wolf don't be looking half bad.
Stop it.
I do like in the openings they do specify or the endings when they do the card, the souls he doesn't have currently because they still have them aren't displaying.
Yes.
So until he gets him back, they'll display again. But there's going to be a point when that wall is just going to be like the Berlin Wall, just covered.
That's just the nature of the show. At least we're not getting, like, tragedy of the week like we did with season 1. Between Goo Goo, March.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Listen, the people dying now are not nearly...
yeah.
The deaths right now are not nearly as impactful as season 1, which I don't know if that's just a director thing or it's just not turning out the way they hoped it would.
I think that at some point the mangaka, because it is based on a manga, you just can't do that the entire time. So building out the story is better.
Yeah.
And I'm agreeing. I'm perfectly fine with a lot of that.
I don't have a transition for Bleach.
Hey, it's Bleach.
Yeah. It's just... Listen, it was very, very cool. We're going to skip around so much. Listen, I don't care that Ichigo's dad banged his mom, stuff like that. That's not important. What's important is... Everything that's important is when he shows up to get his Zanpakuto. I can say that word.
Zanpakuto?
Whatever, back. It was kind of an emotional... Like,
I can say that
you're
word.
You're both mine. It's like, wow, you whore, Ichigo. You're both technically it. You kept me alive when I needed you. You kept me alive when I needed you on there. We're best friends. Okay, finish making your sword. He's going to make his own sword. Hits it once. All the water's just evaporating around this island. They're like, oh my God, it evaporated. Ichigo, you've only been allowed to use a fraction of your power. I'm like, oh, let's go. It's so cool because it's just like it's only a fraction of his power.
Yeah.
And then of course his bitch friend is like, join the Quincy's.
Yeah, they do. If I remember correctly, they show Ichigo with his new sword.
Yeah, well, his dual
swords.
I don't know how to like it. I don't know, it's just kind of...
It's dope. It's kind of one of those things where they do spoil a little bit in the opening. Because you see him, like, just that quick section right at the end of the OP of him walking through a field. He's holding both of them. And it's like... Look, I know what that means, but like whoever's watching, I'm just hoping isn't paying close enough attention for that.
It's great just to see it animated. Mm-hmm. Plus, the gals that he has that works for him is just—they're
all swords.
Here's my hair that holds the sword. That it's like it's too hot for him to hold. He'll burn himself. Watch, cling.
Yeah,
it was just really cool. Like that whole episode dedicated to like almost specifically him just like. Putting the sword together, 100% worth it. I loved it a lot.
Yeah, the everything but the rain mini arc, because that's what those kind of couple of chapters, and in this case, just roughly three episodes.
You went to go get lunch. It's another mini arc.
No, it's just what it's called.
You guys give too many names to too many arcs.
Well, to give you an idea of where you are in the story. If something's 20 seasons long, you're not gonna be like, hey, that one time a Titan attacked, and it's like, which time? The bigger one. Like, no, you'll say like whatever arc.
Then there's not really arcs. That's just like
no, there's definitely arcs. You just don't pay attention.
Y'all are just nerds.
Being able to see Ichigo's mom and their kind of relationship especially develop, because you're like, oh, he's like taking advantage of his high schooler, and it's like it wasn't until after she was in college, or it's like, see, it's legal.
All I know is he's like 3,000 years old and he's just giving her an unconscious girl blood. She can't consent.
He's not 3,000.
How old is he?
I think he was like.
So he's past the age of 100.
Definitely over 100, but
yeah,
I mean,
that's a child, sir.
Yeah, well, she's part of like a Nazi regime, so it's whatever.
Well, now the Quincy's are all Nazis.
Do you want to say they're not?
Are you saying she was a Nazi? Listen, they seemed like all right Quincy's. Listen, it sounds like they were massacred first.
Look, it seemed like her and Uryu's dad's entire marriage was to protect the purity of the race.
I'm just saying that they were massacred first. So who's really the victim here?
They're just trying to they were only massacred first because they had already tried to kill all of the Soul Society.
Yeah, but then the Soul Society was planning to kill them anyways.
I mean, it's...
Oh, what? Oh.
Quincy's are bad.
You're arguing the Soviet Union versus Nazis.
I mean, both are really bad. But the Nazis were worse.
You know, Ichigo's USA over there. Ooh, USA Ichigo, let's go. USA.
With Nazi heritage.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how they just threw that in. It's like, yeah, anyone in his bloodline after that's going to have this. And his dad's like, well, I can't keep it contained anymore, so I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
Which, made sense.
Yeah. They,
it was a nice little love story in there. It wasn't super long, but it was long enough.
Yeah.
Also, he's a Chad. His dad's a Chad-looking man.
He is. He's definitely just like... He's stupid strong, too. It's kind of one of those, like, annoying things where, as a character, in Bleach, you don't get to see him fight too often. Like, I don't think spoilers, really fights in this arc at all. He just is there for exposition. It makes sense. He has 2 other kids other than Ichigo, and he did the boning and spawned one of the most powerful, like, people in all of this whole society.
Does he still really have 2 other kids?
I mean, he does. One of them could easily be a Soul Reaper if they wanted. The older one with the black hair, not the younger one with the orange hair. I forget what her name is.
Wow, and you're a Bleach fan. You don't know every character's name
No.
for all 27 seasons
No.
on there?
I lost where I was going. But with this arc, they've done a perfect job of just encapsulating a bunch of stuff that you've seen beforehand. One of the things, hey, surprise, Zangetsu isn't Zangetsu. It's actually his Quincy powers the entire time. Which, in my case, I rewatched all of Bleach, skipping all of the filler stuff.
Wow, you're not a true fan?
I mean, a true fan only watches what's based on the manga.
You'd watch everything.
No. Everything's not worth it. But the first time you get introduced to Zangetsu, he says, I am, and then it like blanks out and who he actually is. And it's like, cool. They build upon like everything from that to when he's fighting his hollow powers, like in that kind of Zanpakuto world, where a hollow version of him is like, no, I am Zangetsu. And it's like, no, you're not. You're just like the hollow part of me. And it's like, everything's been there, just gets ignored up until the very end where he's like, man, I'm just really fucking dumb.
Also, they definitely did a very 90s, like 2000s anime trope. Let's talk while drowning in water. Oh.
Yeah. That's also explained because the world is entirely based around the emotion of Ichigo. So there's been other instances where he's just been so down that the world literally drowns.
The boy's down bad.
Yeah.
Rukia?
The animation-wise, you gotta admit, the whole rain sequences were done very well.
Oh, it was just a filter.
No, there was more than just a filter, you shush.
It was all right. I honestly, literally, like one of the last 2 rain scenes, I was like, oh, this, I can kind of tell the pattern that they're using in their... It's just something I
ruin
hyper-focus on.
everything.
I ruin everything?
Yeah.
You're right. I didn't cry. Did you cry during your lie in April?
I mean, yeah.
Did you cry during I Want to Eat Your Pancreas?
Yeah.
You said you didn't. You said you were a man.
No.
How dare you?
There's some shows that you've definitely cried on that I haven't, but those are like...
Because they're heavily emotional, and you should cry at every chance you get to cry during those shows.
Doesn't mean I ruin it. I still watch it and enjoy it.
You didn't cry. You didn't enjoy it like I enjoyed it, so you didn't enjoy it at all.
Whatever. But...
I mean, the one of the coolest moments in it, there's a lot of cool moments in Bleach, but like another cool moment of like, our boy's back when he's just like, Ichigo, you forgot this. And he like takes his Soul Reaper badge. Yeah, thanks. I'm going back. And his dad's like, how are you planning on getting back? And then like the red hair girl just comes out of nowhere. Boom, perfect timing. It's like.
Yeah. Look, it's Zero Division. They can do whatever they want. Like, they're paying attention. They're stalkers. They've got nothing better to do.
They should be protecting the Soul Society.
No, their entire job is to protect the Soul King.
Maybe the Soul King should be doing a better job protecting the Soul Society. Can't be
the Soul King.
You can't be a king with no one to rule over.
Yeah. Well,
Am I wrong?
I can't say anything without spoiling. So
You can't be a king if there's no one to rule over if they're all dead.
I mean, he's more of a soul god, but it's whatever.
Everyone's dead.
And just make more. If you're God, it doesn't matter.
Maybe God should just be like, oh, the Soul Society is being attacked. There's a lot of work to make new people. That dude's dead.
You okay?
Got something in my eye.
But yeah, I think for
Sorry,
Bleach,
it was your bullshit getting in my eye.
Oh yeah, I think with Bleach, like
Mid.
no, it's really good. It's nice to see it
How
back.
dare you fanboy that hard?
I'm sorry. There's just doing everything right. There's also
To Your Eternity, Episode 1, Your Honor.
because I forget is at one point they also do a cut over to the wolf captain, and he's talking to his like.
Man, after
elder.
talking about what we talked about in Discord, I'm not going to repeat it on this last night. Then that episode happened. I'm like, this whole thing's ruined for me.
But he was talking to his
He's
elder,
like, "Oh,
who's
it's my
literally
big
like a
dog."
giant dog.
Like a Shih Tzu. Not a Shih Tzu, but it's like
yeah, just the size of a bus.
even bigger.
Yeah.
Things big. It's like, oh, you want to fight? Yeah, let's fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's being set in motion that's gonna be real cool. We'll just have to wait a really long time.
Also, no, I guess one thing we did forget to mention was like, I forgot how creepy his security cameras were. The captain was at Division.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Division 11 or whatever, or Division 10, with a dude with the painted face that like has a laboratory. It's like, how do you know he's working on something bad? It's like, well, these security cameras are off. That are like little goblin things in the corner, and you just see like this blurry picture of a new monster. It's like, what is he working on? I don't know.
I know what he's working on.
It's giant baby number 2. Let's go, baby.
No, it makes sense. It's nothing like
I don't say anymore.
crazy, but it's cool.
Is he gonna walk up to say I am atomic, just wipe everybody out?
No, that'd be sick though.
that'd be hilarious. It'd be a nice little.
Yeah, but that's kind of about it. Bleach was amazing. It's over till July. Shut up.
You know what's gonna be great? By the time we get to Japan, there'll be so much just Bleach merch, like new Bleach merch out that I don't know if you're gonna have enough money. I'm gonna have to win the lottery tomorrow just to pay for this.
Hopefully.
So there we were coming back from Japan and Customs with a 1-to-1 scale of Ichigo.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have a 1-to-1 Kenny.
Why?
'Cause Kenny's cool as fuck, dude. Do you know anyone that goes as hard as Kenny? No. Dude's ready to die at any moment to just power up on there.
I want a 1-to-1 Rangiku. For no reason at all.
Who?
Rangiku.
I need a picture.
Koshiro Hitsugaya, the short, white-haired captain, the lieutenant.
Oh, the guy that's like this tall?
Yes, but Rangiku, his lieutenant, who is the orange-haired.
My gal? Maybe that's Quad Zero gal.
No.
That went from like, boys, I made all this food and I infused my spiritual pressure in it.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, I'll be here every day after lunch.
All right. That's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed.
I hope you didn't.
I'm Matt.
Wow. Way to fuck that up.
I'm Justus. He's Matt. No, in fact, I'm Matt now.
No, you're not nearly as good looking. Bye.
Oh, okay.